yesterday I had a bit of a rant, and I thought it'd be nice to calmly try and put that into some perspective for some people, because they might not know what I'm talking about. It might just look like I'm being a prick, which I am, but with reason, always. I don't just do it for no reason. It's not like an unprovoked attack or anything. Come here. Come here. So, first I want to hypothesise, if that's okay. So, let's just say I had a plan for you, okay? I've got this plan in my hand, and it's all the details of the plan of how we can save ourselves. And all I need to know from you guys is, would you trust me if I gave you this plan?
Trust no one. Trust no one.
How's it going? All right, Martine. How you doing, Bill? Shout out to the real Freedom family. Right, so I've got this plan, and on this plan, yeah, it's basically saying, so there's this guy, Mark Sexton, for instance, yeah, and he's an ex-police officer. He was a police officer for 15 years, and Mark's got a plan, okay? So I'm communicating with Mark about this plan that he has, okay? I'm going to try to keep this as calm as possible, because this guy is trying to call me out, and I don't run from arguments. I've got nothing to hide, so I thought I'd come on here and do it face to face instead of just text keyboard warrioring people, yeah? So it looks like I'm being divisive. I'm not. I'm defending myself. So there's this man. He's a police officer, okay? Been in the police service for 15 years, right? And then basically, this guy's got a plan to get everyone together. So he says to me, I'm going to get all the truthers in the country together, you, Richie, Luke, you know.
How we doing, everyone? Just currently sat in my car waiting for the police. So, a lot of you know the, well, you know what happened a few months back with, I think it was in June, when me and my friend went down to Cornwall and was arrested down there by the G7 summit. I have seen a few stories since then about it, where people are saying, how can anyone on earth get caught down by presidential people, the MPs, the Queen, like myself? How could I get caught down there, thrown into a cell all day, and then released without being charged? Well, to any of them muppets that did say that originally about me, that's no problem. I've been keeping everyone updated, and what happened was, when I was down there, as most people know, I went down there to go and be a part of the protest at the G7 summit, which was cool. That's what my idea was. Yes, I took throwing axes and knives and stuff with me. The intention was we were camping for the night. Some people don't like to add that together and say that doesn't make sense. Well, whatever. I like camping. I've always been a man that throws axes. I like axe throwing. I'm good with my knives. And there's videos of me and my son before G7 where I'm taking them out to the woods, teaching them how to use knives and axes and things like that. So, whatever. My little story was, anyway, yes, we was arrested at G7. I was put in the cells all day. I was given an interview. They made it very clear to me, due to the seriousness of what I've been arrested for, I won't be going home. I'll be put straight into remand. But in the interview, I can speak about everything I'm there for and see what happens from there. Well, usually I try and ignore interviews, because if they've got any evidence against me of anything at all, then they don't need my interview. I'm not going to sit there and give myself away. But anyway, I had to do the interview on that day because I realised that I'm in big trouble. I'm sat in the middle of a fucking place in Cornwall where they're not going to let me go home. They're going to put me in remand because they feel that I've come down there to start throwing axes at bloody people. So anyway, I did my interview and I told them very clearly that is not the case. I like axe throwing. They can check that out by looking at my videos on my phones and stuff. And I'm not that stupid, but yes.
So Mike Freeman is telling us that Mark Sexton, the ex-copper turned trooper, wanted Richard J. Short to attend this secret event. The same Richard J. Short who made a Facebook post saying he was going on a satanic pedo hunt and was arrested next to the G7 summit with throwing axes and knives. Richard J. Short managed to get released from police custody in less than 24 hours. And his arrest didn't even make the local papers, never mind the mainstream media, despite counter-terrorism police potentially stopping a terrorist massacre of the world leaders.
All the guys that have been active over the years and that. And then I'm going to get you all together and we're going to have a meeting about how we can awaken the people of the country to fight back.
That sounds like a great idea.
Right? I was like, okay, cool. You might be a copper or whatever, but I'll see how it goes. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer, and all that business. So I went to meet him in my hometown. He wanted to meet me at my house. I said no. Right. And when I sat down to speak with him, rather than speaking about the website, initially, the first thing he started doing was questioning me about key truthers.
Trust no one. Trust no one.
Asking me about their activities, what they're up to, and all that. So I thought, okay, possibly just curiosity. Didn't really have any information that I was willing to share with him based on the fact that I don't know him, but told him, yeah, everyone's getting on really well, you know. Richie's focusing on his family. Luke's, he's moved in with Richie and blah, 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 whatever, like, do you know what I mean? They're like, just common stuff, nothing to do with anyone, what they're doing. Just everyone's doing well, thanks for asking. I was a bit curious then as to why, when I'm supposed to be sat here talking about designing a website for you, Mark Sexton, so you can do this movement, yeah, so I can maybe contribute, yeah, but I need to see what it is first before I get involved. So I've met him and this is happening, and then like, he's asking me questions about people, wants to sit in a quiet place as well and ask me questions about people when I'm supposed to be there asking him questions about what he wants for the website. Fine, no worries, move forward. Let's get some food, bro. Okay, cool, let's get some food. So I got some food. He's asking me questions about me. Okay, cool. So I said, so what's his plan for the website, Mark Sexton? Yeah. So basically, Mark's got this plan. He wants to get a website where you can go to this website, put your name and everything in, onto a website, database, like, you know, all that information is recorded as well. You can download a document using your home IP address or your phone's IP address. So then they've got your digital data and your metadata for your phone, your device, your home address, everything else comes through your IP address, okay? I can find that, so he definitely can, and whoever else can.
So Mark Sexton wanted a data collection website making. It's not like the Troofers haven't fallen for this type of thing before. We had the same thing from Louise Creffield with her. Save Our Rights movement and the Freedom Radiant app with was just one big data collection and spying application, which when downloaded to a phone gave it access to the mic, the camera, your network connection, your contacts, and everything Ellie's personal on the device. So Mike, what will be different about Mark Sexton's planned data collection website?
Right, so then you're going to download this document and then you're going to apply your hand to the document with a wet signature, which we all know, if we've been doing our research, under common law, a wet signature is the sign of the living man or woman operating in control of their straw man. Yeah, so you're connecting yourself, the living person, to your straw man identity, i.e. your birth certificate that was assigned to you without your permission at birth.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So now we've got a few things here, we've got a few factors. That's not everything. We've got, okay, so what's the next thing you want to do? Well, what I want to do, I want to get people on social media to make a video testimonial. Mark Sexton, ex-police officer, 15 years. A video testimonial, right, about how they don't want any of the police in this country to have any involvement in their life. Now, initially, you might think, yeah, the police are corrupt, okay, and I don't want any part of it. And I get it. Initially, it does sound like a good idea. But then you've got to start thinking, everyone's talking about the people in these hotels. So you want to withdraw consent for the police to have any involvement in your life, but then we've got 1,000 to 5,000, however many people coming across the fighting age men, coming across the channel every day.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Okay, not against immigration, but I'm using discernment here when I'm planning out what could be the possible move being made against us.
No, Mike, you are not planning out. What possible move could be made against you? You have been fed that the channel migrants that are coming onto the shores of the UK every day are a secret UN army that have been brought in and placed in hotels for when it all kicks off. This has been a common belief among the trooper circles since lockdown happened.
So Mark Sexton wants people to make a video testimonial stating, I do not want the police involved, I withdraw consent, blah blah blah, etc. Even though consent was never given. It's never given unless you implicitly give it or you get caught in joinder. Yeah? But okay, let's withdraw consent. So you've got this thing on your Facebook, I withdraw consent, that I never gave in the first place. So that's implying that you gave consent. And then you want to make a video testimonial. And then there was a secret meeting. So you might have seen the list going around with my name on it. So the list with my name on it was the meeting that I was supposed to attend. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend. I wish I did go, really. But my mum was in a house fire, so that meeting I couldn't go. I was going to go, and I was going to make my decision on the day whether I wanted to be involved or not. I was already 90% out, but I thought, you know, let's have a look into what's going on.
So let's have a little recap. Mike had been having meeting with Mark Sexton about making a data collection website, was invited to the secret meeting of key troofers, but didn't attend because his mother had a house fire. I hope his mother is okay and doing well now. But let this sink in. This was all months in planning. And Mike Freeman is only speaking out now, so whose best interests does Mike Freeman have at heart? It's certainly one his fellow troofer followers.
So, didn't turn up. Mark didn't question why I didn't turn up, but people that went to that meeting, all of the key troofers, figure this, 150 to 200 people, key troofers in this country, sat there with Fiona Rose Diamond, sat there with Andrew Brigden, a Conservative MP, known to have aggressive bouts. People might like him because they've seen snippets of him. We don't know him. He's a politician. We only know what they allow us to see about him. Keep that in mind. Use your discernment, guys. We need to be on our toes with this shit at all times. Right? But he's a politician. He might say the right things here and there. But, you know, but everybody's there, right? Everybody's there. Mila, come here. Come here. Right, yeah, so basically, sorry, there's a horse over there. I don't want my dog chasing it. So, all of those people that are at that meeting, you're there with 150 to 180 people. Now, bear in mind, guys, you're going to get triggered by me saying this because you don't want it to be true. You think, oh yeah, there's this guy that's going to save us. He's a politician. He's really good. He's clean. He's this and he's that. But he's a politician, guys. How do you get into being a politician? How do you get on those benches? How do you get on those benches? Do you trust somebody on those benches? Remember Desmond Swain? Do you trust him? Because he went and got a jab with his head in shame. Hung his head in shame. Saying all the right things. Told you to get the jab. This is what they're doing. So Fiona Rose Diamond sat right next to him. A close associate of Andrew Brigden. Speaking at the World Health Organization meetings, is it? Strange that. How'd you get access to that? So basically. So then, think about this meeting. You're guilty by association with all of those people. Let's say one of those people does some crazy shit. Blow something up, whatever. Let's hypothetically speaking. You are then guilty by association by proxy because there's photos of you at an event that you are attending with these people. Not only that, you've done a video testimonial stating you want no involvement with the police, exactly the same as these people have done. And you're now registered on a database through an internet website that you need to use in order for you to download these documents to then add your wet signature to a document, send it to Parliament, connecting you with your wet signature in the Houses of Parliament. You're sending it yourself through the postal system, which is recording it under law. Would you think that's a good idea? If I would have written that down 2 years ago when we were really fucking scared, would you say that that is a good idea? No. Sounds like a trap. Thank you, Martine. It is a fucking trap. I was supposed to be the guy that designed that website.
And you knew months ago and said nothing until now.
I was supposed to be the key designer on all of the fucking information that was coming out. I was supposed to be doing all the web design, everything, right? So I'm involved in this before anyone even knew about it. That list that went out with my name on it, I knew about that list before anybody else.
And you knew months ago and said nothing until now.
And people are talking about me like I'm being divisive. Please, give me a break. I was involved in this before any of you knew about it.
Exactly.
Right? So don't imagine that I'm some sort of bad guy trying to crush your dreams.
And you knew months ago and said nothing until now.
I'm trying to tell you the truth. And I've always tried to tell you the truth. So I was involved in this before you even knew about it. Right? I saw that list of names before any of the people on that list had it sent to them. So I know where I'm coming from with this. I'm not. See, Alan Weir, you're a sleepy guy, mate. No discernment, walking along like the Pied Piper leading you, man. Be led by the Pied Piper. You are welcome to unfollow me, okay? I'm trying to help here. I'm asking you a question. I'm not saying anyone's guilty. I'm asking you a question. If I would have written down that plan 2 years ago, Alan Weir, would you follow that plan 2 years ago when you were desperate? No. You would have used your discernment because we could see them coming at us. Yeah? Dividing, that's what I'm doing. No, sleeping, that's what you're doing. Right? None of us are on each other's side anyway. Nobody's doing anything for each other.
When there is no think tank propaganda to prosecute, each others turn on each other, and fighting within groups is commonplace. When truthers get banned from social media and have lost all common sense and direction in life, they can often be found on Telegram mixing with other mentally deranged individuals.
Everybody's walking around doing tours of the country. Tours of the country. You're a truther. You're a guy with a phone who talks on Facebook and you think you're famous. You are not famous. I don't fucking do tours of the country. I don't go around fucking getting it the big one like I'm fucking... Do you know what I mean? The King of England or some nonsense. I'm not. I'm a nobody. I'm a guy that talks to his phone. And some of you people are going on like you're famous. And then having a go at me when I call you on your bullshit, man.
You were happily part of it all until now, Mikey Freeman. You were willing to take your fellow Troofer followers up the garden path, and was well active in it all. The only reason you're speaking out now is to try and save your own skin.
It's fucking nuts. All we ever wanted was truth.
Oh, shut up, you cunt!